Welcome to Drawbli. In this video, we are drawing based on the prompt,
Death.
You can join us by sharing your art online using the hashtag Drawbli and click the subscribe button to be notified of future videos.
Yes. So, Ben, we are both drawing the same thing today for death, but I think if we are drawing
I think we both just wanted an
references-
excuse to draw some cool skulls.
Yeah, for show.
I am drawing a deer skull. Are you all... Whoa, your antlers are kind of out of control.
A little bit, but I am not afraid. I am not.
You're not afraid?
Not afraid.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to be afraid of your own drawing. I don't think that's how that works.
I don't know. I could be afraid of how good it is.
Whoa.
I could just be afraid of how amazing I am.
We'll see. I mean, I'm not afraid of how amazing I am. Not yet. We'll give it some time.
Yeah, I'm also not afraid of how amazing I am.
Maybe we'll be really, really good here soon. I mean, if we keep doing the, lots of practice, eventually we'll get there.
Yeah. And lots of Procreate. Procreate has so many helpful tools for getting where you want to be very quickly.
Like what?
Well, I am drawing in Symmetry today.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, you're such a cheater.
See? I think we always accuse people of cheating just because they've thought of a way to do something smarter and faster.
Yeah.
And more creative.
I didn't think of that. I wanted to do something from an angle. I didn't go for the, the default straight on view like you.
Yeah.
I do.
Not original.
I actually did like a lot of the art I was seeing that was kind of, symmetrical like that. I think that's really fun. I think there's some really cool pieces that have that aesthetic, that dead on.
I think it looks super cool.
Dead on.
Dead on.
Proportions are hard,
to see
huh?
How it goes. Yes, proportions are very difficult. Another reason that me doing the dead on, straight ahead one is probably going to be a little easier.
This is true. I am trying to just go in and paint like my silhouette. It's kind of working. I don't know. I'll figure it out as I keep going here. I just got to get down my landmarks first and go from there.
I'm already having a good time though. This is fun. I think anybody should play with symmetry. You can do this vertical symmetry that I'm doing here. You can do horizontal symmetry. I've experimented with that before when I did a fish portrait a while ago. I think it's really fun. I know that's something you use a lot in ZBrush.
In sculpting, yes. That's a little... well, not, I guess maybe not a little, well, I don't know. In my mind, it's like almost a completely different process because you can rotate around your model and, when you're drawing, you're only drawing it from one angle and that's it. What you have is what you have, but in 3D, you're making a character or whatever, and then you are, gonna go back and change the pose and whatever later on. What you start with isn't necessarily, it's just to speed up the workflow. Yeah. Oh, and that actually looks really cool. Are you just using a pencil or what are you using
I
right
am
now?
just using an dry ink pen from the brush library, the standard brush library that I like the look of. It just has a little bit more thickness to it than I think the pencils do. The pencils I
agree with that.
But I struggle to get the oomph from them that I'm looking for now.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I also really like the pencils, but when I use the pencil, a lot of the time I'll just use it at the biggest possible size. Yeah. You can go into the settings and you can change that to increase the maximum size of it. But that kind of defeats the purpose of what that is for. Fair Although, enough. I kind of like the texture that you get from it. So in some ways, I don't know. I might, that's something I might go in and play with a little more. I'll have to experiment with that.
Yeah, I just created a brush palette today. I didn't put any brushes in it yet, but I'm going to be gradually here trying to create some specific brushes. Not even create brushes, but at least start by having a bunch that I want to return to time and time again.
Yeah, I've really just gone in and modified a couple brushes that I like to use to start making them a little easier for me to play around with.
And I think it's smart to go in and experiment with that because I think modifying them It helps you learn about the original brush itself, because a lot of the brushes are they're great brushes. They're really good
You don't really need to make a lot of changes.
Right. I mean, I see a lot of professional artists even talk about how impressed they are with the brush palette that comes with Procreate.
Yeah, it's great. I'm all about it. I'm into it.
Now, I'm adding a clipping mask to my assisted layer.
Get in there.
And
Clip
I'm
it.
wondering if I will need to turn on symmetry with that as well. Oh, yeah, I will. So let
She
me
will.
see if I can edit this drawing guide, symmetry. My one question is it, let's see, how do I get it? Oh, perfect.
Now, are you doing just like one layer, do it all real quick?
No, I've added a clipping mask and already one clipping mask.
Okay.
And I've added symmetry to that mask as well, just to kind of go on and get this kind of sunny gradient on the antlers.
I'm being very
tips of the
painterly
antlers.
right now. Just one layer, do it up quick.
Yeah, I'm also being very sketchy. Now, how though?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I want to be cool like you. I want to be sketchy.
Thank you.
So the theme is death, Abby. Why did we both gravitate towards an animal skull, do you think?
I don't know. I think they've been used a lot in art.
Mm-hmm.
They're a very artistic thing.
Ooh.
They've been around as like an art study for forever. There's something about the...
Animal skulls have been around for ages.
It's a little less macabre than doing a human skull, too.
Is it?
A little less, because we're humans and it's just a little different. The tone, the vibe is perhaps just slightly shifted.
Okay. I can get behind that.
Yeah. Man, look at that. I've already got like a lot of work done on that.
Dude.
Let me
You're
see
kicking.
how
No,
you're
don't look at mine. Don't look at mine.
yours. I don't look at
No,
yours.
it's bad. Yours is way too good.
No, that's not true.
You're going too fast. Slow down.
It's that symmetry mode.
Oh, it is. Oh, man. What was I thinking?
Do half the work for double the payout.
No, it's true. Hey, it works.
Yeah. Just getting still some very basic like colors and landmarks on here. I'm not sure how much I'll end up doing in terms of the rendering process. I'm curious to see.
You're much
where
further
I'll
than
end
I
up.
am.
Yeah, maybe I'll play around with some more cool brushes and.
Wait. When you grew up as a kid, is this just a me experience, or did this happen to you as well? Did you ever just find animal skulls when you were playing outside,
Oh,
like in the
yeah.
woods and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Me and my sister used to find them all the time. Like, either a little squirrel skull or
that's cool.
or like a even deer skulls, like this. Just growing up in cornland, that's just what you could
Definitely
expect.
found deer skulls.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah, deer skulls. I don't know why people like they're fairly common. I mean, deer.
Yeah, but like where you grew up, I wouldn't have expected that.
There was a big field behind our house growing up. So yeah, it was a field, not a forest, but you'd often see deer coming through it, and lots of it was overgrown. It wasn't a farmer's field that he grew plants in and harvested. It was kind of more like an extended, large playground for us in the long wheat
A playground
grass and
filled with
little
death.
tree lines.
and
Yeah,
decay.
we had that whole thing mapped out. In fact, my sister and her
Wait,
friend.
did you actually have a map that you guys made?
They actually made a
What?
map because every little part of it was labeled. There was
That's awesome.
the Queen Anne's Lace Field, the Rocky
Ooh.
Road, Emma's Field.
Tell me about Rocky Road.
Well, to get into the field from down by the road that led into it through a driveway, it was a gravel road, but just like a gravel path, you might say, more
Okay.
so. And it was rocky, and we were a bunch of barefoot kids. We were very aware that it was rocky.
What?
So it was the Rocky Road. Oh yeah, we never wore shoes.
What?
Never.
But why?
Didn't care to. Just didn't care to.
Really?
Yeah, we
That
had
sounds like-
real tough feet.
Yeah, I bet. That sounds like a good way to get hurt.
Sometimes, but
Meh.
mostly not.
Meh, we were
You could climb
raised
trees
tough.
a little bit better. I don't know. We just didn't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fun.
We had shoes. I did have
Don't
a
get
lady
me
once
wrong,
get that
we
really
could afford the
confused, and
shoes.
She was like, does your family need shoes? And I was like, no. I was also at that time, that's when I realized I was like, oh, it's not normal to go barefoot this often? I like to go barefoot though.
That's funny. Yeah, we were not barefoot kids. But we did play outside like all the time, go into the woods. There was this one area of the woods back, in our neighborhood that was very maze-like. And honestly, we didn't go back in that part of the woods very often because it was kind of deep and like you could kind of easily get lost back there.
Ooh.
It was fun. It had that vibe, that kind of slightly creepy vibe.
Yeah.
That, uncharted territory.
Right. When you're a kid, it just feels so exciting and really cool.
We did not chart a map. We weren't quite as adept as you kids were.
They didn't just chart a map. Then they made little mice out of what was called silly foam at the time. It was kind of this foam you could sculpt, and it hardened and dried into whatever you sculpted it into.
Okay.
So kind of like clay modeling, but a little softer, lighter, and you didn't need to do anything
so
with
artsy
it.
fartsy.
Well, then they created some board game out of it.
Who's they? Are you talking about yourself when you say they?
I wish. This was my older sister and
Okay,
her friend.
okay.
And they made a lot of little rings that you put over the tails of the mice to carry as part of, like, as you played the game, you collected these rings.
I'm so confused.
I was too young to know how to play the game, but it was really cool. It was haven't you ever wanted to, they created a board game, essentially.
Wow.
Yeah, each mouse was a different color, and
That's pretty cool.
yeah, you played on the...
So what did they make the mice out of?
It was called silly foam.
I
believe.
I think I remember that stuff. Was it like the colorful kind of crunchy Play-Doh like substance? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oops.
Is that not it? It's a different thing?
No, it was very soft.
Floam. Oh, I think
Floam.
I'm thinking of Floam.
It was similar to Floam, I want to say. It's so hard to remember now.
Let's not age ourselves too much or date
Oh my God,
ourselves.
yeah.
Yes, Floam.
You all remember.
I actually don't know if that's even correctly what I'm thinking of. Floam. I was never a kid.
There is a substance called Floam.
Yes, I know that there is, but I was never one of those kids that was really into the messy making
I could
substances,
see
like
that.
Play-Doh kind of. We had Play-Doh, but that was about it. I was never really into the... I was never artsy as a kid.
Right.
Were you artsy as a kid?
Oh, yeah. We had tons of craft books. Like, my dad would teach us to draw.
Yeah, that's awesome. So jelly.
Oh, well, you're the one that took it somewhere and took something somewhere or became an artist, a professional artist.
I took something somewhere and did a thing.
Which is, I think, probably not... I wonder how common that is for somebody who didn't feel like an artistic person growing up to grow up to become
I feel like it's got to be
artist.
pretty rare.
I want to say, yeah. I almost wonder if it's probably going to be something we see more among people who get into the very technically correct forms of art like you.
Technically?
Oh, yeah. Well, what you do is so exact, with your character creation. Down to the last...
3D stuff, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very technical field in general, 3D artist.
Exactly. So I wonder if there's not others like you, but just not as, developed, I suppose.
I'm
who also have that kind of background of like, I wasn't super artsy, but this is kind of more like artsy, like an architect is artsy,
I didn't really go into 3D with that in mind, though. Like, I didn't, I never made a decision like, oh, I'm going to do this type of art and like, I don't know. I never...
You just knew you wanted to be somebody who worked with ZBrush.
Yeah, I feel like nobody, maybe some people do, but I feel like most people don't really go in with the mentality of, I want to have this exact art style and I'm going to push in this, like, it typically doesn't work like that. Typically people are, it's just, over years and years and years of work, you slowly develop your style. It's just a combination of all the things that you enjoy about art.
That you're interested in, and you gradually may not even realize where your interests lie till you look back and you see, whoa, I just constantly do this kind of art here. Just with a passion.
I constantly draw Nintendo characters. What's wrong with me?
I know, you constantly draw Mario.
I just
or
love
sculpt
Mario.
You just love Mario.
I do not constantly draw. All right, you are.
We need to count
you are
how
painting
many
me.
sculpts you have
You
of
are
Mario.
painting me as some like Mario pervert, and I don't like it.
I never said a pervert. Pervert.
You Mario pervert.
But it's a little bit true.
People are gonna like go look up my art and be like, "Oh, he's
Does he
literally
have, like,
made
a-
Mario once." Oh, great.
No, you have not made Mario just once.
So when we met, you were like, "Oh, he said he's an artist. Let me look up." Oh, whoa.
There's a lot of Mario
He's
here.
a freaking Mario pervert.
I didn't know that was such a big thing. That'd be funny if that actually was somehow like a big, like, popular thing we just didn't know about.
Yeah. There's room for everyone.
There's room for everybody. Aw.
If it exists, if you can imagine it, it exists out there somewhere.
Right. This is true.
I mean, apparently I'm one of them, so.
You just haven't found your people yet.
I don't like that this is becoming the, like, lore and backstory of our show. Like, Ben's the Mario pervert.
The Mario pervert.
Abby's the normie, and Ben just can't stop drawing and making art of Mario.
It's just like every time they get together, Abby draws, based on the prompt, and Ben
just makes Mario.
he just makes Mario.
Can't help it.
Just turns whatever the prompt is into a version of Mario. What if
Death.
that's your whole
Oh
thing?
yes, Mario stomping on a Goomba.
They
a
do
Goombert.
say to be successful, sometimes you have to get highly specific and knowledgeable about one specific thing.
Is that what they say?
What if your thing is Mario?
What if my thing?
What if you're just
oh my
holding
God.
yourself back by not
Embracing
embracing exactly
my perversions?
Exactly.
I don't like this at all. I don't like
I
the
don't
turn.
like this.
I don't like the turn this is taken. How's it going over there? I'm liking a lot of what I'm seeing.
Yeah. How
Got
about
some
you?
fun stuff. I am thickening up my antlers because they're looking a little scrawny, a little too uniform. I gotta do something here.
Yeah.
Gotta
I'm
fix 'em up.
thinking it's time for me to go in and start adding in some like asymmetry.
Ooh,
I can
yeah.
I
Do
think
it.
what
Get
I'll
to it.
do is merge my layers.
Merging. That's not the merge sound effect.
Oh, no, yeah, it is. There's a different sound effect for dropping in color, and that's yoink.
Yoink is the yeah, of course.
Merge is
No, it's not. That is not the merge.
What do you think the merge sound
Merging
effect is?
layers is I forget. Now I forget what it was.
We had something for it?
Yeah, we did. We did have something for it. But now I forget it. And now I feel bad for forgetting it.
You should feel bad for forgetting it.
That can't be it. That's lame. That's too lame. I'll come up with a better sound effect. We'll have sound effects for everything. Every brush stroke, every liquefy has to have a sound effect. I'm liquefying right now. Bloop, 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 bloop.
I'm like using the
Ooh, the
freeform
warp.
tool. Look at
Yeah.
this. This is so cool. I can just go in and bend just this antler over another antler. Love that.
It is very cool. I'm going to try to make these antlers more cool. And
Don't do that
it's
again over here.
Not working.
Oops.
I see a lot of people just kind of YOLO twist and rotate stuff, and I'm gonna try it.
You should.
Ooh, I did it. I don't know if I achieved anything. Oh, this actually works. What? That's kind of cool. All right, I like that. Oh, but oh gosh, dang it.
This is awesome. Such is the power of Procreate.
Such is the power of digital art, Abby. Welcome.
Such is the power.
Welcome
Welcome.
to the
Thank
future.
you. Well, thank you.
As someone that's I've been into digital art for a very long time, so
Yes, you're very well versed in like Photoshop and
so like knowing what's possible, like whenever you do something, it's always so
you're
funny.
so fast. Ooh, me?
Well, it's so funny when you like discover something
and
new.
I'm
You're
like,
like,
wow, and you're like, oh.
no, I'm not like, oh, I'm like, oh, that's so cute that you're like finding something new and having fun with it.
Always. This is so fun. Although, what did I even do here? I totally.
What did you even do there?
I made this gap that I wasn't expecting. I must have still had the symmetry on when I was warping on the other side. I don't know what I did. I don't
We
think
talked
I did.
about this. We talked about it. I said that using symmetry is going to come back and bite you. You think it's the easy way out. It's just going to make the art for you. No siree. What's wrong? Oh no, what'd you do? Oh, I'm gonna add some asymmetry by breaking. Oh, everything's ruined. Everything's broken.
I'm learning. Oh my
It
gosh,
will come
that
back
is
and
so
bite
funny.
you.
That is so funny. Just like, what? What has happened?
The confusion.
Yes.
Just the utmost. Huh? Who?
Oh my goodness.
Where?
Easy to fix, though. Easy to fix. Well, this has been pretty good. I'm pretty happy with my work on death today.
Well, what are you gonna do for some finishing touches there?
Well, I've been moving the antlers around, trying to get some asymmetry in. Ooh, this antler is way too thin. What did I do there? I think I'll just make that a little ooh.
Make that a little ooh.
I'm just worried. Now I've realized I can accidentally be working on the other side without meaning to be.
This is very probable.
You're
Not
like,
just
oh, I've been there.
Not just possible, but very
Forget
probable.
Symmetry
in
is
fact.
turned on, and you just go to town on one side. And you're
Oh
like,
no,
ooh.
no. Typically, so it's the opposite, where I forget that symmetry is not on something, and then you work for a while and you're like, oops. But luckily, you can kind of like mirror it over to the other side if you need to.
Oh, that's true.
It's
Mirror and weld.
not too bad. Yeah, to talk about 3D terminology, but yes, you can do that in 2D too. If you mess something up, you don't have to undo. I'm actually a big fan of not undoing a lot of the time and telling people to just keep
Just go
trudging
for it.
forward.
Yeah, I see
Like
that.
a lot of the time, it's just easier to plunge right ahead
Yeah,
into
use
the
what you have, because at the end of the day,
into the
you're just trying to
unknown.
make a finished product, and sometimes it's worth it to go back and redo stuff, but more often it's probably like just embrace what you have. The point is to keep moving forward. What are you doing for finishing touches, Ben?
I'm adding some darker lines to a few areas, a little bit of outlining, somewhat form correcting, helping to create some harder-ish plane breaks in my silhouette. It's kind of working, kind of not, but I'm trying.
You're trying, and that's all we can do, right?
That's all we can do.
we
It's all I can
is
do.
try.
All I can do is try.
Yeah.
But it's kind of working. My skull's very messy,
Yeah.
but I'm okay with that.
Is there anything you would do differently if you went about doing a skull again at some point?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. Spend more time on it, maybe try kind of doing what I'm doing right now, which is some more blending between these spots. I've kind of I've gone in very roughly with my paintbrush, and now I'm starting to blend out these surfaces a little more, which is kind of working. I'm very cognizant of the fact that as a beginner, I'm going to get that almost airbrush quality a lot, and that is something that I want to avoid as much as possible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do. Oh, I'm such a huge fan of the people who have transcended the airbrush, where their work
Right.
still looks like a painting.
Well,
I
yeah.
think
Well,
that's
it's
so
all about
beautiful.
stroke quality. So like having brush strokes that are soft in some places that have that airbrush-like effect, but also having brush strokes in other places that have that hard-like effect. That is something that I pay attention to very strongly in my 3D work. But yeah, here something a little more advanced than me for sure, but definitely something I want to play with more in the future.
I like that. I'm gonna add some ridges to the antlers here.
Add those ridges. Get up, ridge it up. What am I going to do here? There's a lot of gnarled texture and stuff going on there that I'm just not gonna be able to do, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
We're okay with it. It's about accepting your current limitations and learning to be happy with what you can create right now, right?
Wow, that's beautiful.
I mean, that's something I've definitely struggled with in the past. It's just like frustration with where I'm at.
Art's hard.
And I think some of that is healthy to be like, oh, that'll push you to become greater. You're like, I don't like what I'm creating. How can I become better? But also, it's okay to be happy with something that, isn't as good as what you think you may be capable of someday. I don't know.
Well,
It's just important to be happy with what you make.
Yeah, you can't go in with the mindset that every single thing that you're gonna do is the best thing you've ever done, because
Then
that's
you're
just a
gonna get-
for
for
failure,
You'll just get
for
frustrated
disappointment.
and be done eventually.
As she says, I don't like that. I don't like this thing
Yeah.
that I did.
I just didn't like this little more. Yeah, but I like how this is shaping up. You know.
All right, well, mine's not incredible, but I think mine's good enough.
I am of the same mind. I think I have created something and I've learned what I can from this. I'm not enough of a master though to move on and create a lot more from this. You know what I mean? To learn a lot more.
How did you feel, looking back now that you've used that symmetry tool? Did you enjoy that process? That seemed like
I
a
loved
lot of
it.
fun.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of still figuring out my jam here, but I kind of like it. Let me see yours. Let me see how yours
Yeah,
yours
definitely.
turned out here.
Let's see here. I just want to bring him front and center here.
Yeah, let me check him out.
Yeah, take a look.
Ooh, I like. There's a lot of fun texture going on down here with your brush strokes. I think a lot of that came out really well. And there's a lot of fun shapes happening. Those antlers
Yeah.
are really cool.
Look how I bent this antler over that one, and
You
this
bent.
one didn't.
Oh,
See that? And this one doesn't look exactly like this prong.
That's so fancy.
I broke symmetry. Yeah.
Wow,
Now let me see
way to
yours.
go.
Let me see
Yeah,
yours.
yeah, go ahead, take a gander at
All
mine.
right, let's
Mhm.
see. So here's
It-
your reference. Ooh, look at his like gnarly antlers up at the
Yeah,
top.
talk about the reference.
Yes. Well, I just want to see what we're working with. I like your work with like the colors, like the muted bone, the bone shade.
Thank you.
Bone is an actual like color that sometimes people are
Oh, it is?
intentionally pursuing.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
I feel like it's actually used, of course, when we're talking about different whites and ivories and creams.
Ivory,
And I'm thinking about these
bone.
things because, eventually I have to pick out a dress for a specific day.
Look, I already,
Yeah, that
I already
looks
got you
cool.
the ring. You don't need to act like you're dropping hints or something
No,
for
I
a specific day, huh?
we just don't have a date. Because we don't have a venue, and oh my gosh. Anyway, back to
discussion
the
for another
skull.
time.
The skull. I really like that.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. You can join us by sharing your art online using the hashtag Drawbli. And click the subscribe button to be notified of future videos. And this is the part where we say goodbye.
It is. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Smoosh. I think it's a smoosh.
Oh, yeah.
Smoosh. I think I say smoosh. Smoosh 'em.
We can just have we can change the sound effects sometimes.
Yeah, we can change them. But, that's my sound effect.